Hello everyone. In the previous lecture we have studied how to create the data elements and how to create the domains. Now we will assign this data element and domains at the time of table creation. Now we will create one employee table. As I am creating a customer specific object, so its always first name must start with Z or Y. Then I click on this create button. This table is already exists, so I have to provide some another name. Firstly, I have to provide the short description of the table. Now, firstly, at the time of table creation, firstly I have to provide the delivery class, which we will discuss later. What is this delivery class? For this time being, I am taking the delivery class as A. Now after that we have to provide the data browser / table view maintenance options. In this we have three options. For this time being, I am taking this option, display maintenance allowed. Now we have to move on to the third tab, that is fields. Now, whenever we are creating a table, by default we have to provide a field name, that is MANDT. Now what is this MANDT field? This field is a client field which tells us about the current number of the client. So for this SAP system, our client number is 800. So the first default field that we have to take in the table is MANDT. Its data element is by default MANDT. Now, what is the second column in the table is employee ID. Now here we have to provide the data element which we have already created for employee ID. For employee ID, we have created a data element ZDE EP ID _1. Whenever you are providing the data element name, its data type, its length will be automatically appear here. Its short description will automatically appear here. Now what is our second column name? Employee name. For employee name, we have created a data element Now its data type, its length and short description will automatically appear here. Now what is our last column name for the table? Employee designation. ZDE EPDESG _1. Employee designation. Now after providing the field names and data element names, we have to decide what are the primary keys or non-primary keys of the table. This is the checkbox for deciding the primary keys. By default, I am taking MANDT as the primary key and employee ID is the primary key of the table. Now I have to click on this save button. I am saving it as a local object. Now after that, we have to move on this tab, that is technical settings. In the technical settings, I have to provide two things. First one is data class and second one is size category. Now what is this data class? Data class tells us in which portion of the database our table will get stored. Our database is divided into several parts. So I have to go for exact data class in which our table will get stored. So I am taking the delivery class as APPL0 because this is a master data table. Now we come on to this size category. What is this size category? Size category tells us how many number of records will be in the table. So depends upon the number of records in the table, you have to go for size category. Now suppose I am taking the size category as 0. Now I am saving this technical settings. Back it. Now whenever we are creating something in SAP, we have to do 3 steps. We have to save the object, we have to check for the syntax of the object. Now we have to activate this object. Now my table is in active mode. Now what is our next step? Next step is we have to insert the data into this table. We have to maintain the data into this table. So how can we insert the data into this table? We have to go for utilities, we have to go for table contents, then we have to go for create entries. Suppose my employee ID is 140, employee name is suppose Rahul Mehta, and designation is suppose AST. Now I am saving this record entry. I am creating one more entry, 1301. Suppose my second entry is Darshan Patel, and suppose designation is again AST. Now I am again saving this object. Now my table has total 2 number of entries. So how to check for these entries? We have this button, contents. Now execute this. Now these are the 2 entries in the table. This employee ID is the primary key of the table. Employee name and employee designation are non-primary keys of the table. Now in this tab delivery and maintenance, we have taken this option display maintenance allowed. Now what is the meaning of this display maintenance allowed? Display maintenance allowed means we can see the contents of the table, we can maintain the contents in the table. Now in the previous case I have taken this display maintenance allowed. That's why I can maintain the contents with the help of create entries. I can see the contents of the table also. Now if I am taking this option display maintenance not allowed, suppose I am taking this option and I am activating the table, it means that you cannot display the contents of the table, even you cannot maintain the table. See this display button is also disabled, and this create entries button is also disabled. Now if I am taking the first option display maintenance allowed with restriction, it means that you can see the contents of the table but you cannot maintain the contents in the table. Suppose I am activating this option. Now you can see the contents of the table, but you cannot maintain new entries into the table. Now this is the meaning of these 3 options. If you are taking display maintenance allowed with restriction, it means you can see the contents of the table but you cannot maintain new entries into the table. If you are taking the option display maintenance allowed, you can do both the actions. You can display the data as well as you can maintain the data. If you are taking the option display maintenance not allowed, in that case you can only see the contents of the in this option you cannot see the contents of the table, even you cannot maintain the data into the table. Now this is the option by which we can maintain the entries into the table. Now by this option we can maintain only single entry at a time. Now for maintaining multiple entries in single instance of time, we have to go for table maintenance generator. We have a term table maintenance generator. Now what is this table maintenance generator? Table maintenance generator is used to maintain the data into the table. By the term maintain we means we can insert the data, we can delete the data, we can change the existing data. No. Now, how to generate the table maintenance generator for the table? So we have to go for utilities. We have to go for table maintenance generator. Now in this, firstly we have to provide the authorization group. Now what is this authorization group? Authorization group tells us how many people or how many people are authorized for maintaining the data into this table. So go for this input help. By default we will take it as ampersand NC ampersand. What is the meaning of this authorization group? That there is no restriction. Any user can maintain the data into the table. Now we have to go for function group. By default, our table name will act as the name of the function group. Now what is this function group? We will discuss this topic when we will cover function module. Now we have this maintenance type and maintenance screen number. If we are taking one step, then we have to only provide the overview screen. If we are taking two steps, in that case we have to provide the overview screen as well as single screen. Suppose firstly I am taking one step. Then you have to click on this find screen number. Yes, click on this propose screen number. The screen number will be automatically displayed here. Now click on this create button. Save it as a local object. Again click on save button. Now the table maintenance generator for this is created. Now we will maintain this data. Now we will maintain the data into the table. The transaction code for maintaining the data into the table is SM30. SM30. Here we have to provide the name of the table. Then we will maintain the data. See, by mistake we have taken this option display maintenance allowed with restriction. So it is not allowing me to maintain the data. So I have to go for this option display maintenance allowed. Now we will maintain the data. There are two entries already in the table. So to maintain new data, we will click on this new entries. Now here, what is the major benefit of this table maintenance generator? We can maintain multiple data at a time. Suppose my employee name is 10002. Employee name is suppose Anand Patel. Designation is suppose again AST. 10004 Ramesh Patel. Designation is suppose again AST. Now I am saving it. Back it. Now in the table I have total 4 number of entries. This is our one step. Now suppose I am generating the table maintenance generator with the help of 2 steps. Then you have to again go to utilities, table maintenance generator. Now I am deleting this one step. Now you have to click on this 2 step. Then you have to click on this find screen number, propose screen number. Now see here, as we have already discussed, in case of 2 step, you have to provide both the overview screen and you have to provide the single screen. Then click on this create button. Save it. Now we will again go to SM30 transaction code and we will see the difference. What is the difference now? in between for taking the 2 step. Now we click on this maintain button. Now when I click on this new entries, this is the screen. In case of one step, this is not the screen. This is the, in case of one step we have the screen where we can maintain the multiple entries at a time. In case of 2 step, we can maintain single entry at a time, but we have the option for maintaining the multiple entries, but at a time we can only maintain single entry. Suppose here I am taking 5, employee name is suppose Abhishek Patel, designation suppose ITA. Now I am saving this record. Now if I click on this next entry, it will again allow me to enter the new entry. Shirali Shah. His designation is again ITA. I am saving this entry. Now when I click on this back button, now I have total 6 number of entries. So in case of one step, I have only the overview screen, but in case of 2 step, I have both overview screen as well as single screen.